Greetings and welcome to In-Depth. I'm Dike Rostant. The yachting industry has been advocating for itself for some time now for the need for investment into the sector. Now, they should soon see an increase in skilled technical labor as a result of recently signed MOU between MIC, Institute of Technology, and the Caribbean Fisheries Training and Development Institute. General Manager, Training and Industry Services Division, MICIT, Dr. Brian James, and the Training Officer, CFTDI, Nigel Wint, they join us now to tell us exactly what this can mean for the industry and country at large. Welcome, gentlemen. Thank you so much for sharing the time. And let's get into overviews of both organizations signing the MOU, but definitely how it relates to the things about each other that made it seem that this would be a win-win situation. And let me start with you, please, Dr. James.
Yes, good afternoon. Well, good day, everyone. MIC, Institute of Technology, was established in 1974 as a quasi-state enterprise. It was established from a joint venture between the United Nations Development Program, the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, the government, and other private entities. Its main mandate was to support the manufacturing sector. At that time, MIC, Institute of Technology, was called the Metal Industries Company, and its focus was on manufacturing and developing the tool and die services for the manufacturing sector. And during that service offering, MIC provided a number of training support to the manufacturing sector, working with international agencies from India, Germany, Canada, and the USA, who provided experts to help train and develop our resources, our human resources at MIC in these specialties. Fast forward to 2014, MIC was rebranded to MIC Institute of Technology. And there, our focus shifted somewhat from manufacturing to now having a major focus on training and development. And this training development meant that we administered a number of programs on behalf of the government of Trinidad and Tobago through the Ministry of Education. These programs focus on different sectorial development of MIC and of the government. We had programs like the HYPE, helping youth prepare for employment, which focus mainly on construction trades. When we talk about construction trades, we're talking about gypsum work, carpentry, joinery, masonry, electrical, plumbing, those types of trades. So the HYPE program focused on that. And so we provided support to the construction sector. Then we have the MUS program, which is the Multi-Sector Skills Training Program, also run under the Ministry of Education. And that focus also on construction, but at a higher level certification. Then we got the government, asked MIC to look over the Industrial Craft Program. And this program we inherited from the John Donaldson and San Fernando Technical Institute, and it migrated to MIC. So the programs that they run at the craft level at these institutions were now under the ambit of MIC. And so we then offer training in things like tailoring, dressmaking, auto and diesel, culinary arts. Then MIC in 1995, we embraced a new program called the National Skills Development Program. And this is one of our premier training programs. And this one is the one we put a lot of focus on in terms of development. And that one focuses on training of persons in mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and industrial maintenance. Now, in most recent time, we have been engaged by the Ministry of Trade and Industry to develop sector-specific programs. And this is where we get into the Yachting Marine program, in that the Ministry of Trade asked us to look at developing a program specific for the manufacturing sector. You would know that manufacturing has now gone to high-tech and AI. And so they wanted a program that facilitates that type of training to help manufacturers to increase their production. And so that is when we envisaged the manufacturing apprenticeship program, which has a lot of mechatronics and automated type systems, training system for trainees. Then the ministry then approached us to look at the specific program for woodworking. And so we again developed the woodworking apprenticeship program specific to the woodworking sector. And in most recent time, the ministry again approached MIC to assist with the development of a Yachting Marine apprenticeship program. And this is when we reached out to stakeholders in the yachting sector to help us to determine the shape and form that this program will take. And that is when we reached out to the Caribbean Fisheries Training and Development Institute to collaborate in terms of development of this program for the Yachting Marine sector. And so in addition to that, MIC does a lot of teacher training for our teachers. We do an engineering training program, and we do customized program for industry and short courses. So it's a full gamut of training that we offer to the nationals of Trinidad and Tobago in various areas of development, the various sectors of development, to help support and propel economic development of the industries.
And I'm very happy that we're having this conversation. The three of us and Mr. Wint are bringing you in now, but definitely I think in later stages, we hopefully will have some episodes further to this, subsequent to this, and we're able to go to you and get an idea of some of the things that you're saying now. But Mr. Wint, give us an idea, because you're also into training, you're a training officer. So tell us, what is the CFTDI about, and why is it that MICIT reached out to you specifically to say, okay, we need help in terms of crafting this to better help the sector, to better help the industry?
Well, CFTDI, or Caribbean Fisheries Training and Development Institute, was also founded in 1974. So we have something in common there, and was more or less established under Act 59, 1975, under the Fisheries Act of 1975. To provide, well, the organization was more or less established by the government of Barbados, Guyana, Trinidad and Tobago to provide fisheries training for the region. And also the FAO, or the United Nations, they were also part of the forming of the organization. As time went by, there was the demand from the merchant shipping industry to provide training, and we're talking about internationally recognized training with regards to workers or crew members being certified to work on vessels within the Caribbean, vessels international waters, and so forth. So CFTDI evolved, and as the years go by, we continue our fisheries, fishing gear technology, fish processing training. So we dealt with the skills in terms of entrepreneurship, our fisher folk, and also with regards to our merchant shipping colleagues in terms of that sector. We provided international training in terms of the STCW, Standard of Training Certification for Watchkeeping, STCW 78 as amended, so forth. So we are also do give training in terms of internationally recognized certification with regards to our seafarers going out there and our fisher folks in terms of compliance with regards to what is required with regards to safety and security in terms of our waters. So when MIC had reached out to us, we were the ones who were, let's say, the pioneers or the leaders in regards to maritime training. And we saw the need also, because research was also done by Dr. James and his team with regards to the needs of the yachting industry. And there were many needs in terms of the required skills for technical personnel to be trained with regards to the maintenance of vessels and repairs of vessels and the skills that are required, new skills that are required in terms of the vessels. So that was one of the, how I said, the key foundations in terms of what we had in common and where we see we could have add value to each other and by extension the industry, the yachting industry, and by extension the marine industry and Trinidad and Tobago, whereby we can add value with regards to providing the skills that are necessary.
And in terms of adding value and providing, looking at what is necessary, it is necessary we take a short break. We come back, we continue speaking about the MOU itself, what it entails, what are some of those incremental facets to it, and the potential impact. But stay with us, we return with more. Welcome back. We are having a conversation with Mr. Nigel Wint, a training officer at the Caribbean Fisheries Training and Development Institute, as well as a General Manager, Training and Industry Services Division, Dr. Brian James. And Mr. Wint, how important is it, or what's the significance of this MOU happening from the get-go, as opposed to there's a plan that's already in place, and when it's halfway through or all the way through, then MICIT comes to CFTDI and says, "We think about this." So what's the impact of trying to get it, having that lockstep from jump?
Well, it is very critical, and I would call it the clarion call, because with regards to the needs within the yachting industry and getting this thing off the ground ASAP, we have identified that there is, I would call it hemorrhaging in that industry in terms of the skills that are necessary. Because take, for example, Trinidad and Tobago is the most southern of the Caribbean islands, right? Which makes it an ideal place for the yachting industry or the yachties to come and have their vessels repaired and maintained. We are also under the hurricane belt. But somehow, the foreign exchange, in terms of the amount of foreign exchange we can gather as a nation with regards to the skills that we have, but we don't really utilize to the extent that we should, we could capitalize on the opportunities there, because the yachting industry has found Trinidad and Tobago, in terms of its locality, very favorable in terms of their vessels berthing and weathering the storm, so to speak, in terms of when there is a hurricane and these kind of things. So we now have to know how to capitalize on the opportunities. And years have gone by where they just come and they go. When we have, and they go elsewhere to get their stuff done in terms of the repairs, the maintenance, and that kind of stuff. So it is very critical that we learn to capitalize on the opportunities that are there, and to make sure that once we capitalize on those opportunities, that it will remain sustainable in terms of the jobs that we are providing for the young youths of this nation in terms of the apprenticeship program. And we are also providing that area where their careers will be sustainable and will be relevant in terms of the research that will be done. That was done by Dr. James and his team with regards to the skills that are needed for the future with regards to the yachting industry. So it's very critical, and we need to take advantage of such.
I like the way that you dress up that answer, Mr. Wint, because if memory serves correct, it's not the first, second, or third time that the yachting industry has been said, why are we not doing this yet? Why isn't this happening? But in terms of capitalizing upon opportunity, is that a little more challenging now? We're seeing what's going on with our neighbors in terms of Grenada, and I think Jamaica has a floating vessel to do some of the same work. How does that impact what will be happening in Trinidad and Tobago?
Well, basically, what we are also doing, we are providing a pool. We are ensuring that in terms of sustainability, we have the other generation to come that will more or less take the mantle and run with it. Meaning that once we are training, we start from the younger ones, and we will always have a pool of people who can render the assistance in terms of what the yachting industry need. So there is no need for them, because if here, take for example, Trinidad and Tobago, and where we are in Chaguaramas, in terms of locality, is ideal for, let's say, the yachts. And we are saying basically, why just come here and just boot and then go elsewhere to get your repairs done? Or why go into Tobago for the tourist destination and enjoy the ambience? Why not get everything in one place? And that is why we are saying that we can provide the services. So take, for example, they may just come here for a vacation, right, to weather the storm. They can get everything done. And I can see that in time to come, places like Grenada, which you mentioned, that all the business will be coming to us in terms of, we are looking to benchmark. We're not trying to duplicate anything. We are looking to benchmark. We are looking to pioneer something that is new, that is sustainable, and that will be, in terms of job security for our young people, that will create that job security for them.
And literally a one-stop shop that is, like you said, benchmark in terms of quality. We look forward to it. But Dr. James, you have the last 3 minutes in terms of giving us an idea of the actual increments of the MOU and what those trainees, the youth to come, can be expecting from it in terms of benefits to them. Thank you.
Yes, Dike. I think the program that we designed, or in the stage of designing, came out from the yachting policy of Trinidad and Tobago between 2017 and 2021, and they themselves identified the lack of formal training and skills certification for the sector to grow and develop. It was also mentioned in Vision 2030 that speak to building capacity, building globally competitive businesses in the yachting maritime services sector for leisure marine craft, which Mr. Wint alluded to. A labor market skills assessment was conducted by NTA, and through that labor market skills assessment, they identified some of the skill deficiencies within the sector and pointed out areas for development of young persons or trained persons or certified persons in the area of yachting marine maintenance. Because some of these same yachties, when they come to Trinidad, they may require or need a service, a maintenance service to the yacht. So this program is ideal in terms of offering these types of skills development in terms of marine air conditioning and refrigeration, marine electrical and electronics, woodworking for marine industry, marine welding and fabrication, marine machinists, marine mechanics, marine plumbing, sail repair, renewable energy systems for the yachting industry, marine cleaning, painting, and repair. So those are the areas that we require specific skills development in the industry to help the industry to grow and expand and become more productive. And so through the Ministry of Trade, in approaching MIC, we were able to fashion, design, and develop a program that meet those needs. And for us to achieve that, we needed to collaborate with a partner who has expertise in the area of marine development, which was CFTDI. And this working relationship with the MOU is a partnership to facilitate the development and delivery of the youth maintenance, youth marine apprenticeship program. And so the MOU reflects the working relationship between the two institutions for developing these 10 specializations. The trainees can benefit from getting certification in an area. So now they can not only just work in Trinidad, they can go globally and with this certification to work in any parts of the world. They will have experts providing the training and skills development. They will get a stipend to facilitate the travel and take care of other incidental expenses. They will have insurance coverage. They'll have PPE personal protective equipment, on-the-job hands-on exposure in a real-world marine environment to learn the craft and to hone the skills in the development. So the trainees can expect a lot of benefit. They will get a lot of benefit coming out of this program that will facilitate their learning and development in the yachting marine sector.
And I hear the excitement in your voice, and I'm excited about it as well. And like I said, gentlemen, I know that time was going to run out on it because there's so much good things. But I hope to, and well, I commit on this side that we have individual conversations with you. Hopefully we get to you because it's a long time since I wear a hard hat and a little red wing. So, gentlemen, looking forward to it. In advance, I'm saying thanks in advance. Thank you very much, Dr. Brian James. Thank you very much, Mr. Nigel Wint. And on behalf of the entire TTT News team, this has been In Depth with me, Dike Rostant. Thank you for joining us.